and welcome back to Come Geek Some. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe for all future content. Birds of Prey. I haven't actually seen this movie yet. I will be seeing this tomorrow night, so I will be giving my own review on it. But what we're going to look at this moment in time is Birds of Prey has become a box office bomb. Right, with all of this, it's kind of sad to see that this day and age that for a movie to be declared a box office bomb is basically how much it makes on opening weekend. I remember when I was a kid, I never used to see all the numbers, but you didn't hear about anything until like a couple of weeks later. Even though the film may have been good or it may have been bad, they're like, oh, well, it's the end of this run with so and so, and this how much they've made, and the budget was this, so we're going to call this a bomb. But now, literally 2 to 3 days after a film's released, if it doesn't make the projection of what the studio wants, they class it as a bomb. One of the biggest things I find rather funny at this moment in time regarding films is Warner Brothers saw fit to say Justice League and Batman vs Superman were bombs because they didn't break $1 billion. To me, that's insane. But again, no, this day and age, everyone is being compared to the next big superhero film or the last big superhero film. Obviously, this day and age, people are going to try and say, well, we want an Avengers Endgame style. That's not going to happen. To be honest with you, Endgame passing Avatar's 2.7 billion, it's just crazy because, to be honest with you, that was just a fluke in my eyes. Mostly, again, we did see Avatar. It was released twice more in the cinema after its initial release. But then we also saw Endgame was actually released as well for a second time. And had a little bit longer than normal films. So what we're going to look at, is Birds of Prey. So the weekend estimates, they have arrived the numbers reporting Birds of Prey is missing even very low-end expectations. With an estimated opening weekend of $32 million. They were looking to, Warner Brothers, that is, they were looking to get this movie within the $50 to $60 million range, just so they could be like, well, here we go, this is going to go good, and they were looking for worldwide in total. So they wanted 50 to 60 million for America, and, all that's kind of North America, but then they wanted the rest of the world to be about 100, 110, so it'd come out to about 170, 180, which it would make its budget back, plus the actual marketing. But it hasn't happened. This comes after all the major box office tracking websites significantly lowered the box office estimates for this actual film. And it was kind of funny because they lowered their box office estimates after an extremely bad Thursday night preview, even though the lowered predictions were way off. So what we're going to look at here, I do have Bounding in the Comics open, and we're going to have a quick look by here. So not only did the film perform extremely poorly at the domestic box office, but it also brought in $48 million at the international box office for an 81.2 worldwide take on opening weekend. Yes, you can see that's not even the budget. The budget was $97.5 million for this film. The numbers, Box Office Mojo and Box Office Pro were not short of explanations for why the film failed take to flight in its opening weekend. The numbers believe the international box office is due to the coronavirus. Part of this has to do with the virus, which has caused major disruptions in many Asian countries. So again, they're putting the blame on an actual real-life incident that's happening at this moment in time, just because their film has done poorly. Box Office Pro has put the blame for the domestic box office low numbers on the lack of turnout from young females and the usual male-driven fan base of comic book films. So, with that one there, I do want to bring into the fact that we have seen Ewan McGregor going on saying, yes, this is a feminist film, it takes out the misogyny and all this kind of stuff, and it's all for the women, girl power and all this. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just going off with the actual interviews Ewan McGregor has done in the States and here in the UK. And, we've seen a lot of them going, oh, it's a girl power film, it's this, that and the other, we don't want men. And it's like, well, okay, if you don't want men, you're not going to get the actual money, are you? Like I said here, Box Office Pro, they have said, because the usual male-driven fan base for comic book films. Even though this day and age, there are millions of female comic book readers and writers. But the way they actually marketed this film, they should have done it a completely different way. First of all, it was called Birds of Prey, but then they put on the stupid actual tag and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. It was a bit like, right, that's a little bit too much, to be honest with you. They should have just gone for a Harley Quinn movie. Actually have that as on the poster, a Harley Quinn movie. It would have done so much better, because everyone knows who Harley Quinn is. She was the top star of Suicide Squad. She's the one in that, apart from Will Smith, but again, in my eyes, Suicide Squad, they kind of went away from the comics, but they kind of put all the emphasis on it was Will Smith. If it was a different actor in Deadshot's role, I think it would have been a little bit more centered on Harley Quinn, because again, everyone loves Harley Quinn. Don't get me wrong, everyone loves her. Ever since she first appeared in Batman the Animated TV series, she just blew everyone's mind. So, they also cited the lukewarm marketing push, the remaining connections to the divisive Suicide Squad, which, again, we just talked about that. They also cited a lack of interest in a return to the DC Extended Universe, which the original Suicide Squad was a part of. Other factors that they cite were unknown characters and an R rating. That's another thing. Ever since, this is way before Chris Nolan even got to Batman as well, everyone wanted a Harley Quinn movie. Everyone wanted Harley Quinn to either be in the Batman film, and they also wanted Black Mask to actually be the bad guy. So those two, you're saying the unknown factors and all this, they've been around for decades now, those two, and people have been wanting them in a film for years. Box Office Mojo, there just wasn't enough audience. They also believed the R rating might have been a major reason the film struggled to take flight, citing that younger viewers rated the film higher. Box Office Pro's explanation is probably the closest as to why the film is performing poorly, which it most likely is, getting rid of the male-driven fan base and also saying the marketing wasn't exactly great. Birds of Prey disrespected its source material, which we were saying, and insulted long-time comic book fans by radically changing the entire premise of Birds of Prey. It added in psychopath Harley Quinn and eliminated founding member of the Birds of Prey, Oracle, aka Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl. So, you can see why a lot of people are a little bit pissed off with this film. None of the other characters were even recognisable, as their comic book counterparts. Even Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn didn't even look like the iconic character in any of her varied variations. Most of the posters and trailers didn't even have her wearing her iconic black and red colour scheme. That's another thing, I've seen quite a lot of photos and the trailers, and yeah, it doesn't look like it. It just looks like someone who's very, very pale. Black Canary, Cassandra Cain, Black Mask, Victor Zsasz. Again, how can you have a film with Victor Zsasz in and it not be violent, to be honest with you? Same as Black Mask. Huntress and Renee Montoya were unrecognisable in all of the promotional material. The only way you knew who those characters were because they put the character names on the posters. Margot Robbie noted these character designs changes were to make the film less male gazy. Well, that's fair enough, but again, if you get rid of that actual aspect of the characters, of how people know who these characters are, then it's literally showing, not only were the characters unrecognisable, but they also changed much of the characters' actual personalities and characteristics in the film. Oh my god. So, right, so as I said, I am seeing this tomorrow. I really hope they haven't changed a lot, because obviously Cassandra Cain turns out to be Batwoman. Obviously Black Mask and Victor Zsasz, those two in the comics, even in the actual animated films as well, they are violent sociopaths, even in the Batman games. Blaming the movie's box office take on the R rating is a little absurd, given Joker's box office take, which is very, very true. Joker made over $1 billion. And, Everyone knows a Joker, but then, like I said, everyone knows Harley Quinn. If they said a Harley Quinn movie, it would have been a hell of a lot better, trust me. You had Deadpool and Logan, both made tons of money. Look at Deadpool. Deadpool has made over $1.6 billion, and it's only 2 films in. And it's just sad to see that these people, the way they've done it is literally, it's just sad, because everything that this film was meant to be, it turns out, it's not going to happen. So with this, I am seeing it tomorrow night. I will give my own opinion on it. And just looking, all 3 tracking websites, they are optimistic about Birds of Prey's longevity, believing good word of mouth, and they actually got positive reviews. It could drive people to theatres, but I can't see that happening. Mostly because over the next couple of weeks you have some amazing films coming out. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see all you wonderful people soon.